Stephen Curry is often labeled as just the greatest shooter of all time, but that label barely scratches the surface. His shooting is the sharpest weapon, sure, but it's everything else that makes him the most dangerous man in the NBA.
The Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
Steph Curry is the greatest shooter in the history of basketball.
Curry gets free. Curry puts up a three. He ties the game with 6.3 remaining.
Curry isn't just hitting threes, he's destroying the very foundation of how teams defend. He controls tempo, manipulates space, and forces elite defenders to panic 30 feet from the basket. He passes like a point guard, moves like a wing, and thinks like a coach. His mere presence shifts defensive schemes and cracks open floor spacing for his teammates. What makes him dangerous isn't just his shot, it's the totality of his impact. He's not just a shooter, he's a system-breaking force in human form. Stephen Curry's shot didn't just stretch defenses, it rewrote the geometry of the game. Before Curry, the three-point line was a boundary. After Curry, it became a suggestion. He pulls up from 30, 35, even 40 feet, with the same confidence most players have from mid-range. This forces defenders to guard him full court, opening massive gaps behind them. Coaches call it spacing, but what Curry does is more like gravitational distortion. He turns the hardwood into a warped map where help defense gets lost and rotations fall apart. No player in NBA history has expanded the floor like him. His range isn't just about distance, it's about redefining possibility. When Curry shoots, it's not a low percentage prayer, it's a calculated act of destruction, and it's usually going in. Stephen Curry doesn't need the ball to dominate a possession. His mere presence pulls defenders toward him like a black hole, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Coaches call it gravity, but in Curry's case, it's a force of nature. Defenders don't just stay close, they cling to him, chase him through screens, panic when they lose sight of him for even a second. That defensive overreaction opens backdoor cuts, wide open lanes, and clean corner threes for his teammates. Curry can stand 35 feet from the hoop and still create a layup for someone else. It's not just that he demands attention, it's that he warps defensive structure. The court isn't 94 feet when he's out there. It's something entirely new, because he redefines the space itself. Stephen Curry's greatness doesn't exist in isolation. It thrives in perfect harmony with his teammates, especially in how he uses screens. His chemistry with Draymond Green is legendary. A constant ballet of slips, handoffs, ghost screens, and flare actions. But it's not just about running through picks. It's how Curry reads them. He knows exactly when to cut back, curl tight, or fade wide. His timing is surgical, and because defenders are so terrified of his shot, even the threat of a screen causes chaos. Bigs hesitate, guards overcommit, help defense collapses early. In that split-second confusion, Curry punishes you, either with a lightning-quick release or a pass to a wide-open teammate. The synergy isn't just beautiful to watch, it's deadly. It's orchestrated basketball warfare. Stephen Curry's shot doesn't just come from deep, it comes fast. With the release time under 0.4 seconds, defenders have virtually no chance to contest once he elevates. He needs almost no space, no time, just the ball. Whether he's pulling up off the dribble, catching off a screen, or firing in transition, the shot is gone before most defenders even react. His compact mechanics are polished to perfection. Minimal motion, perfect balance, instant elevation. That quickness makes every possession a threat. You can guard him well for 23.5 seconds and he'll still burn you in the blink of an eye. It's not just about range, it's about speed. And when you combine elite accuracy with a release that fast, you're not just a shooter, you're a walking nightmare. Stephen Curry's handle isn't flashy for the sake of show, it's a finely tuned weapon. His dribble combinations blend hesitation, misdirection, crossovers, and sudden bursts of speed into an unpredictable blur. He doesn't just shake defenders, he confuses them. One moment he's dancing at the top of the arc, the next he's at the rim or stepping back into a 30-footer. His ball control is elite, tight and low to the ground, allowing him to navigate through double teams and trap coverage with ease. And unlike some elite ball handlers, Curry doesn't dribble to entertain, he dribbles to destroy. He uses his handle to create just enough space to launch, drive, or dish. He's not just a shooter with handles, he's a handler with a flamethrower. Stephen Curry doesn't just see the court, he sees everything before it happens. While defenders scramble to track his movement, he's already reading the second and third layers of the defense. His vision allows him to identify backdoor cuts, weak side rotations, and open shooters before the defense reacts. What makes it deadly is that defenders are so fixated on his shot, they forget he's also a playmaker. He's scanning the floor while on the move, passing off a live dribble, manipulating help defense with his eyes. Even without gaudy assist numbers, numbers, he controls offensive flow with precision. Curry's vision isn't just about passing, it's about anticipation. He plays chess while others play checkers, and when he sees it, you can bet he'll make you pay for it. Stephen Curry's passing isn't just effective, it's punishing. Every time a defender overplays him, helps too early, or hesitates on a switch, Curry makes them pay. His passes are quick, precise, and instinctive. Whether it's a no-look dish to a cutter, a zip pass to the corner, or a sneaky bounce to a roller, Curry knows how to exploit every defensive crack. What makes him even more dangerous is that defenders are so locked in on his shooting, they often forget he's just as capable of slicing them apart with a dime. His passes don't just find open players, they create them. And once the ball leaves his hands, defenses collapse, rotations break down, and chaos follows. Curry's passing isn't a backup plan, it's another way he dominates. Stephen Curry is chaos on offense, but it's controlled chaos. In pressure moments, when defenders close in, the shot clock winds down, or the game hangs in the balance, Curry doesn't flinch. He processes options in real time and always makes the right read. Whether it's pulling from 30 feet, driving past a closeout, or swinging the ball to a wide open teammate. His decision making is a perfect blend of instinct and intelligence. He doesn't force bad shots, and he doesn't hesitate when it's time to strike. That balance makes him nearly unguardable. Defenders have to play perfect defense for 24 seconds, and Curry needs just a split second to destroy it. Under pressure, most players slow down. Steph sharpens. That's the difference between good and dangerous. Stephen Curry doesn't just show up in the playoffs, he erupts. While early critics questioned his clutch gene, he's since silenced all doubts with performances that belong in postseason lore. In 2023, he dropped 50 points in a Game 7 against Sacramento, the most ever in a Game 7 in NBA history. He's delivered dagger threes in the finals, orchestrated comebacks, and dismantled defenses with surgical precision. His playoff scoring efficiency ranks among the best ever, even as teams throw traps, doubles, and box and ones at him. What separates Curry is that his game scales under pressure. He becomes smarter, sharper, and even more unpredictable. He doesn't rely on brute strength, he relies on brilliance. When the lights get brighter, Steph doesn't fade, he flames out and burns opponents with him. Stephen Curry was never supposed to be here. Too small, too skinny, too injury prone. They said he wouldn't last. He didn't attend a powerhouse college. He wasn't a top draft pick. Even early in his NBA career, his ankles betrayed him and doubts followed, but Curry turned every slight into fuel. That underdog mentality never left him. Even after multiple MVPs and championships, he plays with the edge of someone still fighting for respect. You can see it in his hustle, his leadership, and the way he celebrates big moments. Not with arrogance, but with joy earned through struggle. Curry's greatness isn't just talent, it's forged from years of being overlooked. That chip on his shoulder, it never left. It just got sharper and far more dangerous. Stephen Curry doesn't just beat you with buckets, he breaks you with joy. He'll hit a 35-footer, turn around before it drops, and flash that effortless smile. It's not taunting, it's psychological warfare. Defenders know he can score from anywhere at any time, so they tense up, overextend, and second-guess every step. That fear builds pressure, and Curry thrives under pressure. The moment he hits 2 shots in a row, panic spreads across the court. Coaches burn timeouts. The crowds go silent or explode. Opponents start pressing on offense, forcing bad shots just to keep up. Curry's confidence is contagious for his team, and contagious in the worst way for his enemies. He doesn't need to talk trash. His game speaks, and it gets in your head. Fast. With Stephen Curry on the floor, no lead is ever secure. A 15-point advantage can vanish in under 2 minutes. All it takes is one stop, one transition, and suddenly bang, he's hit 3 threes in a row. Teams play differently against him, even when they're ahead. They tighten up, rush possessions, and desperately try to outpace a man who can erase momentum in seconds. Curry's quick strike offense turns every possession into a high-stakes moment. He doesn't need a drawn-out run, he only needs a spark. And once that fuse is lit, it's usually too late to recover. Coaches know it, players know it, fans feel it. With Steph, no lead is comfortable. Every cushion is a trap. And if you relax, he'll flip the game instantly. The Golden State Warriors offense is beautiful, fluid, unpredictable, and devastating, but it only works because of Stephen Curry. The constant movement, the quick passes, the split actions, and off-ball chaos, they all orbit around Steph. Without him, the system stalls. Defenders aren't pulled out to 30 feet, passing lanes don't open the same way. Draymond Green's playmaking doesn't thrive without Curry pulling double teams. Steph's shooting gravity unlocks the playbook, but it's his decision-making and unselfishness that keep the machine humming. Steve Kerr calls him the engine, but really, he's the blueprint. You can't plug another shooter into his role and get the same result. The system doesn't make Curry great. Curry makes the system possible. He's not part of the scheme, he is the scheme. Stephen Curry isn't just great, he's sustainably great. In his mid-30s, he's still putting up 30-point games, leading playoff pushes, and moving like a player 10 years younger. Why? Because his game was never built on raw athleticism. It was built on skill, intelligence, and tireless conditioning. He's adapted over time, adding strength, improving his finishing, and fine-tuning his shot selection. His offseason work is legendary, and his body control, diet, and preparation rival that of LeBron James and Tom Brady. Most players slow down with age. Steph sharpens. He's aging like a master craftsman, not a fading star. The terrifying truth? He may have years left at this level, and if he's still evolving now, imagine how dangerous he'll be with even more wisdom and spacing around him. Stephen Curry doesn't just elevate the game, he elevates the people around him. His presence on the court gives teammates better looks, wider lanes, and more confidence. Klay Thompson gets cleaner catch-and-shoot opportunities. Draymond Green becomes an elite playmaker when Curry's drawing double team. Role players like Kevon Looney and Andrew Wiggins thrive because Steph constantly creates chaos that frees them up to shine. But it's not just tactical, it's emotional. Curry leads with humility, celebrates other success, and never chases stats. That unselfishness spreads. Young players grow faster beside him because they see greatness mixed with generosity. He leads by example, without ego, without needing the spotlight. And when your superstar puts the team first, everyone plays harder. That's leadership. That's legacy. That's Steph Curry. Stephen Curry didn't just change a team, he changed an entire league. Before him, deep threes were a desperation shot. Now they're a strategy. Because of Curry, NBA teams average over 35 three-point attempts per game. Young players grow up practicing logo shots. High school coaches teach spacing and off-ball movement inspired by Steph. Even big men are expected to shoot now because Curry made it normal to stretch the floor. He didn't just shift trends, he triggered a basketball revolution. Entire defensive philosophies have evolved just to contain his influence. You see his fingerprints on every level of the game, from youth leagues to international play. Few players in history can say they changed how basketball is played. Stephen Curry did it, with a smile and a jumper. What truly sets Stephen Curry apart isn't just what he does, it's what defenders think he might do. The fear starts before tip-off. Coaches game plan for him like he's a natural disaster, unpredictable, unavoidable, and potentially explosive. Defenders pick him up at half court knowing even that might be too late. One screen, one hesitation, and it's over. The fear spreads quickly through rotations, through benches, through arenas. You see it in rush shots from opponents trying to match his pace, in double teams 35 feet from the hoop, in timeouts called out of desperation. Curry's reputation alone causes breakdowns before the play even begins. It's psychological, it's contagious, and it's constant. That ever-present threat makes Steph Curry more than just a superstar, it makes him terrifying. Stephen Curry is the most dangerous man in the NBA because he changes everything. He's a threat the moment he crosses half court, a gravity well that distorts defenses, and a maestro orchestrating chaos with every movement. He breaks traditional schemes, turns average teammates into stars, and shifts momentum with a single flick of the wrist. His shooting is historic, yes, but it's his mind, vision, timing, and unrelenting pace that make him lethal. He doesn't dominate with brute force, he dominates with brilliance. Defending him requires perfection, and even that's often not enough. He redefined what greatness looks like. Joyfully lethal, relentlessly efficient, and impossible to replicate. You can try to guard him, you can try to copy him, but you can't stop him. That's why he's the most dangerous.